lovely to see so many of you here tonight. Thank you if you've travelled a distance to be here. Delightful to see even Johnny here tonight. And I know that many of your friends and family could possibly have had other things to do, and here you are for us in Northland. Thank you for coming.
Before we start, is Stan Semenoff here?
We would have heard him before we saw him.
All right, we have 11 candidates tonight. So there's already something for the paper tomorrow. Now, how this is going to work, ladies and gentlemen, we have now 11 ping pong balls in here. I will go through the gorgeous front row and you will pick a candidate for questions. How we're going to start this, we'll introduce them. They have 2 minutes each. Charmaine will be keeping time. At 1:45, she'll ding her bell. Got your bell on you?
I have this amazing bell. This will remind you of when you were younger and you had one of those forklift bikes. Just so like that.
That identifies 15 seconds remaining. They have 2 minutes each to persuade you why you should vote for them. 11 candidates. After we have been introduced by them, and some of you may know this already, we have asked them to bring something that identifies them, that defines them, that screams their identity. In fact, I couldn't resist the urge. Where's my little prop? I had to bring something as well, just to start the night. So out the back here, someone's pinched it, haven't they? What a great start to our event. Well, oh, you found it, Tony? You weren't going to go take it to the Tutakaka coast and go for a fish for yourself? This is a fishing rod. This is my fishing rod, which I fished outside Marsden Point on the weekend and saw a pod of orcas come past into our beautiful harbour. Now, depending how you think the water quality of our harbour is, I enjoy fishing in the harbour and I love it here. And that's why I moved here from Auckland, to be a part of our community, to be involved with our environment and to enjoy and love it here in Whangarei. And that, hey, I'm not in the race. No need for applause. You can't vote for me.
Didn't they ask you down south to stand for Labour?
So this is my prop, and no doubt our candidates will have props of their own. You may have seen some on the placards around town as well. So I don't want to hold you up anymore. I think we get this underway. Just to go over what's happening, there will be a 2-minute introduction from each candidate. Then the Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Advocate, will be asking questions that were submitted through the Chamber's channels, as well as the Advocate readers and Classic Hits listeners. So there is a good opportunity for a variety of questions for the variety of our candidates. Once those questions have been through with times as well, at the end of tonight, there will be an opportunity for you to personally ask questions to the candidates that will be here after the conclusion of tonight. So I don't want to hold you up anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to introduce our 11 candidates for tonight. Please welcome, a warm Whangarei welcome to Stuart Bell, Glenn Chapman, Crichton Christie, Vince Cockerillo, Shelley Deeming, Cheryl Mai, Greg Martin, Isapu Samu, Warren Slater, Warwick Sires, and Graham Tadman.
And Stan is here in true form, just like the bride arriving late. It's glorious to see you, Stan.
Now I'm just checking I've got enough balls for everyone. I am one short. There it is. That is the special last one. Can you please add it here? So that was alphabetical order for our candidates, but it will be totally random tonight, and the pleasure is all of the front row. So I'll start at this end, I think. Pick a ping pong ball, sir. Shelley will be our first speaker. Shelley, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about you. Up the front here, Shelley, when you're ready. You've got a prop, yeah? That's your prop?
Yeah.
Stand up here and wave your prop and tell us all about it. The floor is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker, Shelley. Do you want to introduce your prop first, each candidate, then we'll give you 2 minutes. So you've got a bit of time to talk about your prop when you're ready.
Thank you. Well, a leader likes to lead, so I'm really pleased to go first. My prop is the Tangihua Times, which is a collaborative community newspaper started back in 1999 by a little group within the community. Some of them are actually sitting out there, although the light's so bright that I can't see you. It's put together by various writers from the community just to communicate across the community, a little country area in Mayoral and the wider Midwestern area. So it's part of, I've been writing for it 1999, 14 years. We've got at least 5 columnists that are still writing for it. I've been business manager for some time. So that's why I brought this along, just to show the community collaboration that I like to be part of.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Shelley, you
I'm
have
gonna do my 2 minutes
two
now.
minutes from when you're ready.
Okay, well, introducing myself, I'm Shelley, grew up at the Oakley service station in the Roy Price family, and I can see some people out there that are Price family friends. Worked at the Inland Revenue for some time, where Wally Ovich was my mentor, which is excellent for my next part of my career, which was farming, which I've been doing for quite some time. Got the hands to prove it. After 3 terms with council leadership roles across council, I intend to serve you well as your next mayor. Council is about people. I intend to lead a council embracing the ideas and creativity of the community to promote a thriving district and vibrant city underpinned by a strong, productive economic activity. The council I lead will deliver competent democratic decisions based on listening to the community, providing facilities that work, and prudent spending. Roads, rates and rubbish are basic council jobs needed to run an organised community. My council will retain the policy to restrict any rate rise to the annual local government cost index, which this year was 2.7%. Local government cost index equates the consumer price index, except it's a basket of goods that local government buys, tar seal and that sort of stuff, rather than the groceries that the consumer price works off. The community asked for more investment in sewerage infrastructure to keep our harbour and coastline clean. My council will focus on a high standard maintenance and continued upgrading. I voted against the Hundavasa project based on community view at the time, and because I believe our economy is too fragile to go off on spending tangents. I do keenly support our own art, culture and heritage. A vibrant city enjoys the arts, and a city with pizzazz needs an iconic theatre. If I could have a blue sky vision, it would be an architecturally unique theatre cantilevered over the harbour.
Shelley Deeming, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
A passionate speech to start us off now. Excuse me, would you like to put one of our candidates next up to talk? To introduce their item as well is Warren Slater. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Warren. So what have you brought along for us tonight, Warren?
I've actually brought along a piece of chain. Just a few links of chain, because for years I've always been one to link people together. And it gives strength, solidarity and networking. And for years I've had phone calls come from friends because they know I do a lot of research, and they say, Wazza, where's the best place to buy a TV? Or Wazza, what's the best sort of washing machine to buy? Because I've always been one to do the research first, and they've come to me, and I haven't actually had anyone really give me a kick in the backside because I gave them wrong advice. So yes, it's only a piece of chain, but it's just something that I brought along just to share with you all.
Thank you, Warren.
Thank you very much.
Warren, you now have 2 minutes when you're ready.
Okay, we were asked to come along tonight to say why vote for me. I think probably the main reason is that I care. I care enough to have been going to council meetings since 2006. 375 meetings I have gone to. Now, I think that's commitment. Is it commitment, or should I be committed? But 375 meetings because I wanted to actually find out what was really going on. I believe from what I've seen going to those meetings that the people of Whangarei deserve better. We've been spreading the word of what we've learnt at these meetings through our website and our social networks. And the main policies I'm putting forward in my campaign is the democracy. We'll work within the legislation set before us. I want to have our debt forensically audited. And I mean forensically audited because people say it's already audited, but you'll all remember that the same organisation that does the audit of our books also did Kuipera's books. And the other thing I want to do is I actually want to work with all the agencies about crime and social issues in Whangarei. I don't believe council can fix all that, but we've certainly got to work with these people. Whangarei must be kept affordable. My strengths, I believe, are other people's weaknesses. I'm a leader. I was the first to put my policies up on the Vote NZ website. No one else has done it yet, to my knowledge, but of the mayoral candidates. I'm prepared to make the hard decisions. So my sign says time for change. And by change, we're going to, if we really want a genuine change, I think we've actually got to look at something new rather than something current or previous. So we need to work down that. So I'm actually really, really passionate about doing this job for the people. It should be nothing about us without us.
Warren Slater, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Sir, would you mind picking a ping pong ball? Cheryl Mai, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Cheryl. Cheryl, what have you brought along today? I think it's in the corner, is it?
Oh, my scooter. No, actually.
You came on your scooter.
I did come on my
There you
scooter.
go.
Actually, I've brought with me something that I wear every day. It's actually my wedding ring, which was made by a fabulous local artist, Hannah Ott. And it's actually a replacement ring for one that was stolen, which actually broke my heart. But this ring I wear, and it's actually got a piece of gold that holds the opal. And the gold was actually part of a crown that broke in my husband Mike's tooth. So Hannah connected it all together, and I now have a bit of Mike on my finger every day. Thank you.
You now have 2 minutes.
Well, as far as job interviews go, you're a fairly large panel of people to be interviewing me. The mayoralty is a job. It's a big job. It's a full-time job, and that's why I will give it my full attention. I believe we need to reconnect council with the people it serves. I'm going to move the mayor's office from upstairs to downstairs so that it's on the ground floor to be more accessible to you, the people, my employers. I did arrive on my scooter tonight because that's my preferred mode of transport. People go, what's with the scooter? Well, I've been riding it and I've found some pretty rough footpaths. I'm sure that there are many more rough footpaths, and I want you to tell me where the roughest one is, and by crikey, we will fix it. We must maintain and enhance our existing infrastructure, locals first and foremost. We also need that Marsden Rail link. So we need to loudly beat the drum to make sure we get it. We have a heavy debt burden. It's been ratcheted up and up. So I'm going to put the screws on that cap and bring it down. Our district can be likened to a three-legged stool: economy, environment, community. If each of our small, medium enterprises employed just one more person, that would give young people, school leavers hope and graduates hope, bring them home. Our environment, I've got a track record of working with conservation, parks and recreation and waste minimisation. We need to work together to ensure we have a clean harbour where we can swim at the town basin and pick pippies at Portland. The people in our community are the most important. I want us to celebrate what we have, where we live and who we are. After all, it's all about you.
Cheryl Mai, ladies and gentlemen. Who have you picked out, sir? Warwick Sires, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Personal item. I said to Val, the most personal and greatest item for me has to be you. She said, no, it's not. That's nonsense. She said, it's that damn pen. You use it every night, every day and night. You give it more affection than me. So my pen. Well, I guess it's appropriate for a number cruncher at any rate, but it is the most personal thing. But in fact, the real most personal thing is Val and my family.
All right,
We can now move on to the speech part of it. Excuse me while I get my glasses out. You should vote for me because of experience, leadership and vision. Experience is important that Whangarei gets a fit-for-purpose mayor, the best person to do the job. Someone who has the skill base to lead this 130 million a year spend business with 300 plus staff. My background around my accounting practice, business advice to clients, senior governance roles together with the finance chair and council bring the specific skills needed for the mayoral role, the leader of the organisation. Leadership is about building and running a team with dignity, respect and acknowledgement, and overcoming mediocrity. I have those skills. Vision, my vision for Whangarei. Whangarei is an attractive, thriving district, developing sustainable lifestyles, utilising our unique advantages and striving to overcome our problems. Underpinning these three tenets are innovative solutions to move council forward in the next 3 years. These cover communications. We've got a little bit of work to do to tidy that up. Growth. We need the desire and we need some solutions. Social improvement. I have two main themes I'll mention later. Efficiencies, fiscal responsibility, reduction in capex. Long-term plan has to be business as usual. And yes, to Haudavasa, provided the funds can be found. And that's important, they have to be found. Whangarei needs a leader who brings a can-do attitude and a toolbox of proposals to make significant difference to the way things are done and to move Whangarei forward as a wonderful place to live, work and play. Vote Warwick Sires.
Warwick Sires, ladies and gentlemen. Could you pick a ping pong ball, please, sir? All right. Crichton Christie is our next candidate, ladies and gentlemen. Crichton Christie. This is an interesting prop, Crichton.
I asked my daughters what they see and what I do and what I see, and they said my tool belt and my thing. I'm a project man. I do things, I build things, I get my hands dirty for both the community and for myself. Hockey stadiums, all those things I've been mainly involved with. And so the tool belt is about me actually building and getting a better place for Whangarei. So, hammer and all, sometimes councils need a bit of a whack over the head.
Crichton, you now have 2 minutes.
Yep, I'll just have to...
We'll wait for you.
I'm a bit like Warwick, I've got to get those glasses out too, unfortunate. No. Right, I'm Crichton Christie. This council needs experience, leadership and integrity to get us through the next 3 years. Whangarei deserves better than it's been getting from its local politicians. It's time for a mayor that has strong policies and a clear forward direction. I have a proven track record and a clear vision. I have 3 key policies. I'm quite precise. First one, an economic plan to get Whangarei working and reverse the Northland's declining prosperity. I will encourage growth in our local economy. while protecting and enhancing our natural environment, which attracts many visitors to our region. I will change the Council's culture so it has a get things done approach, reducing red tape and supporting people and enterprise that shows initiative. Whangarei needs jobs for our people. Second thing, bring financial discipline back to Council by reducing the debt and capping the rate increase to the CPI, not to the local government CPI, because you guys don't get a pay rise like that, and stop selling Council's assets to balance the budget. Council must do what every other ratepayer does, live within its means. Third one, involve ratepayers in key capital spending decisions so that they set the spending priorities by holding annual referendums. I will trust the ratepayers, something this Council has never done. As your new Mayor, I will get Whangarei working again. I'm the most experienced of all mayoral candidates here. I have a good practical sense of what people of Whangarei want. This comes from being a local person, being involved with the local community and being in business myself. Vote for me, your new Mayor, and together we will get Whangarei working.
Crichton Christie, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to pick a ball? Our next speaker, Vince Cockerillo, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you,
Vince,
Mike.
you brought an item?
I have indeed. Now, I'm actually wearing it, Mike. You can have a look later on. It's a Paul Harris Fellow. Now, it's something I received about 2 weeks ago. It's something I received from my Rotary Club. Now, I don't know if many of you know about Rotary. Rotary has 4 major values, which is it truth? Is it fair? Will it bring goodwill to all people? And will it benefit the society? You know, these things are what Rotary's all about, and that's also what I do. When I've been amongst the community, when I've been amongst the volunteer work I've done around the world, it is always trying to help other people. And the Paul Harris Fellow means that my Rotary Club has given $1,000 to say thank you to me for the work that I've done. So that was my little prop. Is that okay there, Mike?
Fine.
Brilliant.
You've got 2 minutes now, Vince.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's good to hear you. It's good to see a great number. Isn't the Chamber of Commerce and these guys done a great job in organising this? Well, look, my billboards talk about choice and choosing. And this is what it's all about. Making a choice for the future. Getting things done. I'm Vince Cockerillo. Many of you know me, and many of you know that I have worked on your computers. And amongst them, I've told you how to work the computer, or even how to take apart it, or even when to throw it away. And it's time things need to be done like that. We need to be thinking about our future, our children's future, and my grandchildren's future. We need to be thinking about the rail line, the roading, the sewerage, as we've been talking about, and also we need to be talking about our young people and employment. Running a business in Whangarei the last 13 years, I've seen a lot of changes. And it actually really upsets me because every week I'm seeing another business close. It's closing because they're basically finding it too hard to be here. A lot of them are moving, or should I say some of them are moving to home premises to work. They're still staying here, but a lot of them are closing. This has got to change. I love this place, and I know you do too because you're here. You're passionate about Whangarei. So am I. We need choice to change. So choosing me and choosing my family, you will see that change and you will see the community being benefited forward. Thank you very much.
Vince Cockerillo, ladies and gentlemen. So we are officially halfway through our 12 candidates. Would you mind picking a ping pong balls there? Next up, we have Samu, ladies and gentlemen. Come forward.
Ka tangi te titi, ka tangi te kākā, ka tangi hoki ahau. Te hei Māori ora, te whare tūnei, tēnā koe, te papai takotu aho, takotu. E ngā mate, haere, hei ratu ki ahine nui te pō. Kia koutou nā rangatinga mākua tai mai nei tēnei wā, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa. First of all, I just acknowledge the house, the grounds outside, and our ancestors that passed on before us. And I acknowledge you for being here. Different voices, different cultures that are in this room, I acknowledge you. This evening, I brought with me something that was carved about 40 years ago by my father-in-law.
Can you step in front of the microphone? Thanks, honey.
I brought with me something that was carved about 40 years ago by my father-in-law. At the time, he had no idea why he was carving it. Just last year, I rang him up and I said, Ron DeRoy is his name. I said, Ron, I'm going out on my own again. I'm starting a business, and it's going to be called Toko Toko. And I picked that name because the responsibility that is placed upon me. Those of you that don't know me, I work with young people. I work in our communities. A lot of the talk here will be about doing stuff, building infrastructure. I actually work with the things that matter the most, people. And in that role, I see so many things that we could be doing much, much better. And that's why I'm standing tonight. Kia ora everybody, my name is Samu. I am from the Tokelau Islands. I left home when I was about 10 years old, and I went to Whangarei Boys High School, and I was a boarder. After I finished there, I went down to Auckland Teachers College, and I finished training. I taught in Auckland and Whangarei for a number of years before I joined the police. Now, a lot of things I do is pretty random. It's never planned. I was in the classroom, the living police let the siren off outside, and I went out, turned around, and half my class was gone. And I thought to myself, man, if that's what it takes to get your attention, I'm joining the police. So I did. I went and joined the police. And then during one of those things, I went up to Whangarei Boys High School again, and I said, look, give me some of your kids, and we'll do a program. We'll write from Cape Reinga down to Wellington. It's about growing young men. So on the way down, we stopped up at Kensington. Now, every town, every city we went through, the mayor turned up in a rope, fed all the kids. We turn up here, we get put up at Kensington Park. Graham Broughton didn't know who we were, and that's how I got interested in politics. And I thought, if this is the view of our leaders to our young people, our precious resource, I'm going to have a run for mayor. So I did. I didn't get there, but I got onto the council, and I served for 6 years. So I was doing the police. I was running youth programs, doing stuff with our youth, and then just most recently, I worked with homeless people. Now, if you have a look at all the people up here, you're not voting on popularity or the skin colour or a name. You are voting to employ somebody to be the voice and face of Whangarei, based on the skills that we bring, based on the background that we bring. That's why I'm asking you to vote intelligently. My name is Samu. Thank you very much, everybody.
Sapu Samu, ladies and gentlemen. Stan Semenoff, ladies and gentlemen. Did you bring an item, Stan?
Haven't got one. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kia ora. Well, I'm Stan Semenoff, and I was born and bred in Kaitai and brought up in the Hokianga, and I eventually went to boarding school at Wanganui and travelled the world fairly widely, and I was encouraged to come back to Whangarei to play rugby, and I was picked up by a good gentleman for me. It put me on the track of success, Wyn Fraser, who started me off in a business which I didn't know till he eventually gave it to me in time and gave me $100 a week for 5 years. Then when he thought I was fit enough to run it, he let me know what was in the kitty, and there I started on. I've been in business in Whangarei for 43 years, and we are substantially in business through the whole northern region, Auckland and Tauranga. And I guess it was through Wyn that actually got me to go on the harbour board and eventually go to the Port Corporation, which I had a fair introduction to, and part of the port, building the port at Marsden Point and following, and it's not my credit for it, was following the Trimmer philosophy that built the city and the port. And we all should be very grateful for that wonderful man that had that regional view on it. So that's my introduction to council, and I've sort of been fairly put up prim and proper to stay in the black, because you only can open your mouth and do things if you're in the black, not in the red. So that's my introduction. Thank you very much.
Stan Seminoff, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, well, in 1989, there was a business team that swept into Whangarei into council to write the council of the day. It was actually introduced by the leader of most controversial things, and that was Wally Redwood. So in 1989, we reformed the two councils, and I've got to say that I was very lucky over the term I was in. I had Wally Yobridge and Dick Sumter and Warwick Sires, and the three of them were a privilege to work under, and a very prim and proper in their dealings of council, and that was part of the success. And I pay tribute to Warwick tonight on that, because he's still here with us trying for council. So the main thing I'd like to do is try and cap this debt, pull this debt down. You saw what we did with the electricity department. We sold that and got a town basin, a jewel in the crown, spent 11 million there approximately, and 3 million on rural roading to satisfy the mass of the rural people. In this time I've been in, we've done heaps of sports clubs, the bridge, all the roading through town, and I could go on, but I need about an hour to tell you. So thank you very much. That's my introduction.
Thank you, Stan.
And I guess if you vote for me, you'll get more of the same. Thank you very much.
We'll pick a next candidate. Out of fairness, we have 2 minutes for each candidate. Who have you picked, sir? Next up, Greg Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Greg. Did you bring a prop, Greg?
Yes. I'm Greg Martin, and I've been married to the same woman for 41 years. And she tells me I'm halfway through my training program. So I'm obviously well above average intelligence, but I bought a photo of my grandchildren because that's the most precious thing to me.
Greg, you have 2 minutes when you're ready.
You've seen my signs. No to Handavasa, yes to local artists. It's about our people. I'm not afraid to take a stance on behalf of the people. Our debt is too high. Let's enable private enterprise to create attractions if they wish. I listen and talk with people from all walks of life. I'm a team builder. I'm prepared to take on tasks and see them through. For example, in 1987, I successfully petitioned Parliament for a reduction in pupil-teacher ratios and release time for principals. The change was made in the 1988-89 budget. I've served 9 years on council, the last 3 as Chairman of Infrastructure and Services, with a great team. I chaired the bridge, Speddings Road, Porowini Avenue, increased parking at Kensington Park, created 8 new sports fields, chaired the Kensington Park Management Plan changes, resulting in more play areas for netball, hockey and cricket. I chaired the sewerage upgrade at One Tree Point, Hikurangi and Nangaroo, and the installation of the Hatia storage tank and UV plant, Ruakaka South sewerage extension, and a lot of our core infrastructure is still underfunded. I am WDC's representative on the Regional Transport Committee and have lobbied successfully to have the motorway designated from Whangarei to Wellsford, the upgrade of the Portland State Highway 1 Loop Road intersection and retention of rail. I was always vote for the over 70s parking concession and remain opposed to the outdoor use of GMOs. I have the experience and ability to be the Mayor. It's about our people and we love it here. Thank you.
Greg Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Who haven't I chosen yet to pick a ping pong ball? Hey, you're nominating her while you're busy marking who you like, who's wooed you tonight. Graham Tadman, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Graham. Did you bring a prop, Graham?
I did indeed, thank you, yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. The Chamber of Commerce, thank you for this opportunity. The Northern Advocate and Radio Works. Cheers. The prop that I bought this evening is a book I read. It's one that I chose when I first decided to move into politics, and I quickly learned that it has nothing to do with politics, but entirely to do with governance. And that is the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. He was a great man. Everyone know him? There we go, very good. I also studied Nelson Mandela. I also studied Thomas Jefferson, Georgina Byers, Winston Churchill. I looked to great people in governance to inspire me to apply for this job. So thank you. That was my prop. Cheers.
Graham, you now have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I came with nothing to prepared this evening. I find it very hard to talk about myself, as I'm sure we all do, so I'd like to tell you about my father. My father is a great man, and I love and admire him. He's 86 years old. He would have loved to have been here, but he can't this evening. I'm very proud of him that he has raised a family of 13 children alone with his wife, my mother. I'm very proud of my father because he has never asked for a handout. He has always been quiet. He's always got down and done the business, and that's what I admire about my father. Made bankrupt when he was 50, and we moved into a caravan park in Faux Valley, and then we went to Headley Place in Raumanga, where we rented with Housing Corp, and ever since I can remember now, since I was at least 9, I've lived in Otaangere. So I've known poverty very well in this town, and I know how to fix people. But I have not let that shape me as a person, which I'm proud to say, and I owe that all to my wonderful parents. And I'm proud to say that my father just became freehold last year. So from 50 to 86 now, he's now back again, a solid man who owns his own home. And it's because of these qualities that I feel I needed to be here and represent. I know that people are wanting change. I think that leadership is vitally needed. And I hope that I have all those qualities that you're looking for. I know that some people may know me by 2 names. I was actually a pre-op transgender, very much like Georgina Byers. However, although we wear the same shoes, different shoes, we obviously got them from the same store, but I realised that I was born perfect and I don't have to change myself for myself or anyone else. So these are the sorts of credentials I bring with me into this job, a true compassion. I've been judged cruelly by this world, and I know how that feels, and I would not wish it on anyone. So I have absolute conviction and compassion for this community, as it has been able to support me through the many changes I've done. I now am a business owner in Kama with my own little cafe, which is fun because I never have to pay for another cup of coffee for a while. So there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Graham Tadman, ladies and gentlemen. Which leaves 2 candidates for us to meet. Sir, do you want to pick one? You're on. Good to see you here tonight. Our next candidate, Stuart Bell, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the microphone. Did you bring a prop, Stuart?
Yes, I did. This is my prop. It's a paperweight. Relatively simple piece of equipment, but it's got a tractor in it. I don't know if you can see that. And it was to do with my personality. My personality was shaped by a rural upbringing at Purua, northwest of the Whangarei, and for the last 20 years I've lived in town. You also look at it that way, it's pretty transparent. What you see is what you get with me. Not much hidden.
Stuart, you now have 2 minutes.
Okay, why should you vote for me? It's an interesting question. I don't have a history in politics. So I can hand on heart say any problems you have with the council in the past, I didn't do it. Okay, but I have had to work with the council in my role. I was a self-employed builder for a number of years, and the last 3 years I've spent working for Bike Northland, which is a regional organisation promoting cycling. We also work with other groups of passive recreation, like triathlon, orienteering, and through that work I found there's a lot of things that that they need that are not being catered for. We're looking at some traditional sports getting big lots of money to build facilities locked behind fences, but Sport NZ's done some surveys and passive recreation is huge. The opportunities to walk, bike, run, when you want, whenever you want, are things that I feel this council should be promoting. But that wasn't enough to launch a mayoral campaign on, so I started looking a bit wider as to what the issues were. I think there's a lot of angst with the way the council is operating at the moment, a lot of suspicion, and to its credit, the council's there to try and keep everybody happy, and it's not an easy job. Everybody has a different opinion, and even on the financial state of the council, the depth of our debt, some people say we're teetering on the edge of the financial pit that Kaipara fell into. Others say we're about 3 or 4 metres back. Others say that perhaps we don't even know where the edge is. These are all things I think that need to be addressed, and they need to be addressed with good democratic process. And from my experiences with sport clubs, there's definitely the need to separate governance and management and have clear lines of communication between both. Thank you.
Stuart Bell, ladies and gentlemen. Which means we have one candidate left. Please welcome Glenn Chapman to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Glenn, you brought a prop with you?
No, I haven't brought a prop for us, okay? I've brought me, okay? So you can start the timer.
You're ready to start? You have 2 minutes.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank you all for coming this evening, because your participation is what this event is all about, okay? Many of you clearly know what you want from your council already and for your community, okay? Fact is, I'm clear about it as well. And I'm so clear about it, I want to make a change. I want to make it happen, okay? So I'm backing you. Leadership is about listening. It's about vision and unity of purpose. If you're tired of being ignored and feeling unheard, then I welcome you to support my stand in this election. I offer a genuine new choice for change that will make a difference for this community. Whangarei, I'm backing you. Election time sees the current council talking up a storm about policies, debt reduction, reviving business, engaging with the community. Shouldn't they have been doing this already? Of the 12 people before you tonight, the fact is that 9 are either in council, have been in council, or have been mayor, and in some cases for multiple times. Some have already unsuccessfully tried for this position before. If you always get what you always do, you'll get the same results. Some things are unacceptable in our community. Some of these may be familiar. Why have we got people parking down Hatia Drive when there's public parking at hand? Or the traffic congestion at our intersections. The sad fountain in Laurie Hall Park. Large parts of our city for lease or for sale. If you can't sort out things like this, how do you tackle the big stuff? I plead with you to not let complacency hinder us seeking a better community for all. Dedication to the task, that's my commitment to you. No hidden agenda, no business affiliations, no bull. I welcome the opportunity to serve this district. Whangarei, I'm backing you. Thank you.
Our final candidate, Glenn Chapman.